To another Andy's Travel Blog product review. I'm here today with the DJI Phantom 4 Pro drone still camera, video camera thing. Now, keeping up with my other legendary product reviews, we're going to try to put this one through its paces. I don't really have a lot of, like I have some lens reviews where I have athletes running around and doing fitness and stuff like that. Don't really have anything today, but I do want to get this thing up in the air so I can show you a little bit about it. This is one of the top of the line drones that DJI has. It's very, very new as of late 2016, early 2017. I picked it up the other day and I've had a really good experience with it so far. So let's get this thing up in the air and let's take a look at some of the features, and I'll tell you a little bit about it, and I'll even show you some pictures, show you some video, stuff like that. Okay, so DJI makes this thing really, really easy to fly. What you do is, they have two models. So they have the Phantom 4 Pro, and then they have the Phantom 4 Pro Plus, just to make everything real confusing. This is just the 4 model. The only difference between this and the Plus is the Plus has its own controller, so I don't have to use like my iPhone or like an iPad or something like that. All I do is I simply plug it into the controller here, and they have the little app, and let's see here. So I'm connected. What it's going to do is it's going to run some safety checks, make sure everything's calibrated right, and then we're going to see how much noise this creates. It should be a little bit of noise, but then all you have to do really is just hit a little button here, and it's going to take off. So it's sitting here taking off. It's going to hover for a little bit. Now with this remote control, I can make it turn around, I can make it go up, I can make it go down, I can fly towards the camera. And the whole goal is not to, of course, not to crash it into anything. DJI helps by having obstacle avoidance, which is actually going crazy right now on this app. But anyway, so here's the cool part, is that it's easy to fly. I don't have my fingers on the controls right now, and it's just hovering there, just kind of waiting for me to give it some input. So I tell you what, let's actually switch to video from the Phantom 4. I'm going to make sure my settings are consistent here between my A7 and the Phantom. And we're going to switch to the Phantom. All right, so here we go. Okay, so let's focus on me here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm walking around and I'm using this to see if I'm in focus. And of course, I'm kind of backlit right now, but again, I'll walk around this way. As you can see, it's really easy to fly. I can go up, I can go down. I can even do this, go up in the air a little bit, and then tilt the gimbal down and look at me. So I can go, pretty high, adjust a little bit, and then come right back down. Now again, this thing has 4 directional object avoidance, unlike my feet, so I almost tripped over something just now. So if I back this up, it's going to keep an eye out for my A7R2, which is here on a tripod. So now I'll come towards me a little bit, and it'll recognize, and it went ahead and stopped. Now, the cool thing is, so this thing is really powerful. So this camera, or this drone will fly at 31 miles an hour with full obstacle avoidance on. And if you take the obstacle avoidance off, if you want to live dangerously, it will fly at 45 miles an hour, which is pretty cool. So I'm trying to get better at flying it. But the cool thing is DJI actually has some pretty cool modes here. So on the app right here, what I can do is I can go into, let's see here. I can go into the application. I can click on active track. And then what I can do is click on me. Let's see here. Actually, let me go up a little bit. Here we go. So now I'm going to click on me, and now it's going to track me. So I don't have my hand off the controller, but as you can see, the camera is following me around. So this works great if I'm just kind of hanging out here. I can also make it let's make it go back a little bit, give it a little bit bigger point of view. So this is fantastic just for walking around. If you want to get shots of like you riding a bike, for instance, there's people at this park walking around with a kid on a bike. I also used this mode for a little running video that I put together this afternoon. So let's take a break and go to that running video. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that running video. And now let's talk about image quality. So the reason, you're seeing a lot of, I do love playing with this thing. It's really easy to fly and it's really stable too. But the reason that I like the Phantom 4 Pro and the reason that I went with the Pro over the DJI Mavic, which is the other kind of big drone that's out there right now, the really popular one. Now, the Mavic is a lot more portable than the Phantom 4 Pro. The Phantom 4 Pro is a little bigger, but it's still pretty portable. But the reason I went with the Phantom 4 Pro over the Mavic is the camera. So the camera on the Phantom 4 Pro is simply fantastic. It's a 20 megapixel camera, and you have full automatic, you have full controls, full manual controls rather. So 20 megapixel camera. Let's take a picture real quick. Here, let's focus first before we do that. So we got a picture, and the raw files are fantastic. Sorry, I just love kind of walking around and just, it'll follow me with very minimal effort from myself. But I do love the camera on it. The camera quality is great. The pictures are sharp, and that's whether I'm taking a picture from right here, or if I go all the way up here, it's just as easy to take a picture, and you can actually take it directly from the camera right here. So that's a pretty cool thing right there. So let's go ahead and take a picture. Okay, so now let's come back down. Now how long did it take me to learn how to fly this thing? Well, it's pretty easy to fly, and they have a great amount of tutorials. There's a lot of resources on the internet to fly it, so it's pretty darn easy to fly. That doesn't mean it's without its perils. I've already crashed it into a wall a couple times and broke the UV filter on the front of the drone. But that's fine. It's hovering right now, even when it's windy. It's stabilized. The footage is fantastic, as I hope you'll agree. But yeah, so I've had the drone for a couple days now, and I'm getting better at it. I'm not perfect at it yet, but I have I've taken it around Dallas a little bit. I have grabbed a few shots that I'm pretty proud of. And yeah, so I'm going to share a couple of those shots with you right now. And then there's this one. And yeah, so I'm going to put these pictures up at andystravelblog.com if you want to take a look at them. And yeah, so my overall first impressions, this is the first drone that I've owned that has a camera on it. I could not be happier. Again, I'm excited about what this camera will give me. Shoots 4K at 60 frames per second, which is fantastic. And it gives me a lot of creative possibilities. So I'm looking forward to taking it on the road, looking forward to providing you more content. So if you like this video and you want to see more product reviews, or you want to see what I end up doing with this on the road in like Hong Kong or Singapore or wherever, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below and leave me comments below, any questions or anything like that. Until then, this is Andy from Andy's Travel Blog. Take care.
Hi, welcome back. You're watching Colsky Drones. Something a little bit different today. Today I want to have a quick look at the DJI Phantom 4. This is the normal, standard if you like, not the advanced or the pro. And what I wanted to do was just take a look at it and see if it's still worth it in 2019. The reason for doing this, you can pick this up now for anywhere between £450 and £550 on eBay. And for £450, this really is worth it for the money. So for that money you're going to get a 4K camera, an extremely stable drone, and a fantastic controller and a backed up app. You can, if you shop around for other you're going to see other drones for this kind of money. I'm just trying to think of what's available at this money. The Spark is going to cost you that if you buy a Spark new. It doesn't. This is a bigger drone. The unique Mantis Q is £450 with an appallingly bad camera and gimbal on it. So for the money, this is still great and still worth it. Alright, there's stuff advanced past it now, and folding drones are all the rage, but if you don't want a folding drone and you want a really good drone to use as a camera, for a camera drone, this is the thing. It flies quick if you put it in sport mode, it's extremely wind resistant, it shoots fantastic video. You'll see at the end of the video I'm going to post a video that I've recorded on this recently, and it really is a fantastic drone for the money. If you've not seen one before, I'll go over it quickly. It runs on the DJI Go 4 app, so let's have a quick look on it. So this is the app, as you can see. That's your image. On your control you can move your gimbal up and down with the back wheel here. Here you can adjust on this wheel here, you adjust your settings. You've got on and off, return to home, your flight mode switch, record, pause, and then programmable buttons on the back. So this version here allows you to plug in DJI goggles because it's got the HDMI out. Some of these don't, some do. You can buy this unit separately if that's what you wanted to do anyway. It is available separately. And on the drone itself you have that really nice 4K camera and really nice gimbal. If you have a look at that, it really is a nice piece of kit. You've probably seen these loads of times before. I just wanted to go over it with you just in case you haven't. So SD card goes in there. You can connect it up to a USB there. You've got anti-collision sensors on the front, so it will stop in the air. And obviously the battery in the back with a power meter on. This battery will charge and discharge itself to 50% to leave it in storage mode. If you're not using it for a while, you can adjust the time length of that. And then underneath you've got optical flow and ultrasonic sensors. So for the money, at that money, it's fantastic. I mean, these things were like £1,200 when they came out. You now can pick it up for £500 or under, which is a remarkable deal. The controller itself is fantastic range-wise. It feels excellent in your hands. The gimbals feel absolutely superb on it. It's a really, really nice controller. So for the money, this controller is outstanding. And like I say, at £1,000 when it came out, or I think it's 1,200. I'm not sure. It was over 1,000 anyway. It was still a great drone. Now, at the price it is today, it's an absolute bargain. It's not a review of the drone. What I'm saying to you is, if you can pick one of these up for the money and you want a drone, it's first time getting into it, and even as a starter drone, this thing's unbeatable. It's so easy to fly. So, I'm going to leave you with some footage so you can see it flying. The footage you're going to see is in, I think I've got 2.7 and 4K. I'll put both up so you can see what it's like in both, but it really is a fantastic drone. So thanks very much for watching. Have a fantastic Thanks for watching my channel. If you like the video, please subscribe and hit the like button, and also hit that notification bell. There's plenty more good stuff coming up.
Yeah. The drone takes off, hovering a few feet off the ground. I guide it up to about 12 feet with the throttle on the remote control. Then my 3-year-old son takes over. He taps the screen on an iPad running our piloting app. The drone, a DJI Phantom 4, begins to ascend, heading towards an abandoned granary. My son happily taps away at the screen, shifting the drone here and there. You would notice how frantically he's tapping from the footage he captured, which is buttery smooth. Eventually he taps on tree. The Phantom 4 cruises towards it, adjusting slightly to avoid the obstacle. The end result is a dramatic shot, with the drone splitting the difference between two trees, sunset shining on their outstretched branches, passing far closer than I would have felt comfortable with if I was the one in control.